Okay, part 3. Sorry, just cut off like that. I was out of memory. Okay. Yeah, so maybe that's your story. Maybe you have experienced similar things, and I developed a lot of lies early on about myself and others and even God, really. They say that a lot of times the way you see God is the way you see your parent, and I'd have to agree with that. I am just feeling like, yeah, I just kind of started to believe those things about God too, like God's angry all the time at me, and God doesn't love me, like just a bunch of lies. And those are things that I started to just hear early on, and I remember just being depressed too, probably the age of like 13 maybe. I just remember just being really depressed, feeling just stuck in my situation, just really stuck. I don't even know how to describe it. And just feeling really, really unloved. Like, I just started to believe and learn that if anyone's going to provide for you, it's going to be you, and you need to provide for yourself. You should not rely on anybody else. You should definitely not get married, because the person will take everything you have, take all your money, leave you in debt, and tear your family apart. Like, just talk about deep-seated mistrust. I just didn't trust, I just have had a very hard time trusting people, and just putting my hope in the wrong place too. Like, I remember, I didn't get to go a lot of places. I just remember being like, not being able to socialize with friends or being able to participate in a lot of things, just feeling very confined in that. Like, it was a big deal if we went over to a friend's house. Like, I have to talk to their parents, I have to know exactly where, and it's just like, I don't know, just being this huge thing, and it wasn't easy to. And honestly, I was just embarrassed. I didn't want people coming over to my house. I didn't want people meeting my mom. And I feel bad saying this, but there was kids that came in front of our apartment complex, and would go outside and scream at them too. And just not having a lot, just having to take on a lot of responsibility at a young age too. Just, when you have to tell your mom, like, we need to go to the grocery store, we need groceries, or we need to do laundry, there's no laundry. And I couldn't just do those things myself. Like, we had the type of laundry where you had to pay quarters for. Like, I can't just go do it myself, and yeah, being in the grocery store and being screamed at in front of people, like, just embarrassed. Like, I don't know. I understand discipline's difficult. I don't think I was that terrible of a kid, but yeah. If you have the chance to model that for your kids, the I'm sorry and talking about it, it's worth the time and effort. Like, those things, anyway. I don't want to go on and on and on about it, but to get back to, yeah, I just was very depressed. I remember coping mechanisms that began were, I was just sleeping a lot. I don't know if it was just being a teenager and growing, but I escaped through, if you're unconscious, I don't think about these things. Like, that was my escape. Like, just go to sleep and forget it all. Like, so I just remember sleeping a lot. I remember going on antidepressants as a teenager. And probably have spent about 10 years of my life on antidepressants. Having very dark moments, just not knowing how to process everything. And yeah, like I said, going back to those lies about you're unloved. Just feeling really unwanted. It was pretty clear that I felt like a burden. You know, I'm sure she didn't mean to make me feel that way, but I just felt like a burden, and I felt like, I don't know, I just had so much anxiety, and I handled it in the wrong way. Like the first time male attention came my way, and having no guidance in that area, and just being like, wow, somebody actually cares, someone wants to spend time with me, and just having a huge vacuum for love and affection. And when that comes along in the form of males, like you can imagine, I just did not make good decisions there, and I regret that looking back. You know, a lot of people can say, well, you can date who you want to do and do whatever you want to do, but honestly, that leaves even more pain, because you're getting attached to people and then you're breaking up and you're feeling even more unwanted, and you feel worse about yourself because you're like, what am I doing? Yeah. Fast forward to graduation, I had absolutely no plan after school. Absolutely no plan after school. I was like, what am I going to do to support myself? My mom was like, okay, you need to either pay me rent or get out or go to school. And I'm thinking, go to school? Like, I had no plan after high school. Didn't really matter because she ended up kicking me out anyway. Mom kicks me out. I'm on my own, and I'm having to support myself, and I didn't have this whole achieve and go to school and get scholarships and think about university. That was like so far out of any realm of possibility. I was just trying to like cope with life and maintain, like, how do you support yourself now? And you know, God was very gracious to me. I ended up becoming a nursing assistant and working, and I took advantage of all those low income things and financial aid, and thank God I ended up going to nursing school, and that was God's grace to me, because you know, I did have a way to support myself, and I did have but it's very scary. You just feel like I can't make a mistake. If I fail, there's nobody there to catch me. There's nobody there to support me. There's nobody there. It's you don't have, and like, it just makes you so fearful to take any chances in life or do anything. Or I was just like, I need to support myself, and I need to do that now. So went through nursing school, graduated, and moved away, a couple hours away from where I grew up. And you know, I remember, so my first job, I was just a mess. You know, it was very stressful. Not only just having the stress of you're always in this state of anxiety, but nursing is very stressful too, and that combined with just kind of a challenging work environment. I am sure my coworkers looked at me like, what is wrong with this girl? That's okay. I probably needed to be in that situation with a challenging patient population, because their hearts were probably as hard as my heart was, and they probably had as much anger as I had. I had so much anger of the way my life had gone, all the things I had gone through. I didn't understand. Just asking God, why? And being fearful of everything. Just so afraid. Like, just this deep-seated fear in my life. And yeah, then having roommates who were just volatile and not knowing how to navigate relationships in life, like even a roommate relationship, like just these controlling, out of control people, and it was just this bad combination. I'm gonna pause this and do part 4.